Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Simple. This time I'm going to talk to you about another free-to-play called Vigor. Now Vigor came out recently, came out at the end of last year I think, and it sells itself as a survival game, kind of a PvP survival game. I mean, I don't really understand it. So this is what you get. You wake up and you're in the set of the breeze and you get find a radio, and the radio tells you that you go somewhere and you find a house. Now in this house you will have to rebuild the house and kind of getting your civilization back. You know, get better food, get better weapons, get better armor and anything. The game has two separate modes. One is confrontational PvP, which is you are directly against other players. One of them is called shootout, where you get a random weapon just like everybody else, and then you go find other players and shoot them. That's it. The weapon that you get is different from play to play. Every time you respawn, there's a different weapon, and so is the other enemies. Now, if you play elimination, it's different. It's 5 versus 5, your team of 5 against the other team of 5, and the weapon is also randomized, but it's the same weapon for everybody on your team and on the other team. So it kind of evens the odds like the other ones. I did enjoy that. You know, you really have to get skill to play this game. Not exactly. I don't know if the armor or the build for your armor counts on anything here. It doesn't seem to. It just seems to be the weapon. Since the weapon is the same for everybody, it narrows it down. So I thought it was cool. Although I'm not a really PvP player. Now the other one is kind of an exploration. You are taken to a set, to a new scenario, and you have to find loot. And then there's a drop. An airplane passes and drops a loot crate, and you have to get to it, steal the loot, and then make it your way to one of the exits. What I didn't notice was that if you take a lot of loot with you, I mean a lot of weapons or anything like that, and you get shot, you lose everything. And that's happened on my first play. So, you know, I took all the weapons I had on my inventory. I was like, well, I'm going to be shooting a lot of people, so, you know, I want to go and try all the weapons that I have. And I got shot and I lost everything. And I was like, wait a minute, it says there, it's right there, right at the beginning. If you get shot, if you die, you can lose all your loot. But this, I think it should be in bold and in red and not just in normal text, because I completely missed it. So then I started playing it again. And I was like, oh, I can get loot and then I can get out. You know, I don't have really to confrontate anybody. They even give you tips. If you don't feel like you're comfortable fighting with other players, just get what you can and get out. The game also follows the traditional PvP model, which is as a season pass per se. With each new level, you do get something new, even if it's a loot crate, but you always get something new. You get a new weapon, or maybe you get a new color, or maybe a loot crate and all that, and I really enjoy that. Most games, or at least the ones that I know of, on the free hunt track, they don't give you everything. They will give you maybe at level 2, and then level 4, and then at level 8, and they space it out a lot, including Fortnite. This one doesn't. This one gives you loot every time. Of course, if you pay for it, you get better loot or more loot, but, you know, it does pay off to be playing the game constantly, because you always get something new. Now the game has one really strong point, which is its visuals. I mean, it's visually stunning. I was in most of these scenarios and these sets, and I was just looking around and going like, whoa, this is really, really cool. It's really well made. It's very photorealistic, and the character moves well, and everything looks amazing. I was really, you know, given the time that I had, soaking it in. It does have a few problems with it. Most of my playthroughs, if not all, I always had connection issues. It always showed on the top left corner there was a connection issue, and I was like, well, this is kind of the thing they should work on. If you put a waypoint somewhere on the map, it does not give you the distance, which I think is a big miss, because I want to know just how far it is. I mean, I can see on the map relatively how far it is, but if I do not know the map that well, I don't have a sense of distance. Also, you cannot traverse in a straight line to everything. Sometimes you have terrain that you have to go around and something like that, and you don't know if you're getting closer or not, or if there's an enemy there. So, you know, it creates this problem to somebody who's trying the game for the first time. Another thing I didn't like, which is you can pay for insurance. Insurance essentially is if you die, you don't lose all your loot. This sounds like, I mean, I won't say it's a scam because I didn't use it, and you can just not use it. I've saw a lot of other players not carrying any gear when they're going to the mission just so they can get the loot, and if they died, well, they just lost the loot that they found. They didn't lose any loot that they were carrying of them. But you know, me, I was carrying at least one weapon just in case, which did come in handy at least once. Now, I found another player. I didn't want to get into a confrontation, but then I was searching for loot, and then he came in close to me. I didn't know if he had a gun or not, so I decided to take the, American way and shoot first. And I did get a little bit of loot, but I didn't feel good about it. I didn't feel good about doing it. I just did it because I didn't want to lose again. There are some interesting things about your gameplay. There's one thing with phones, which you can call somebody, and if he picks up the phone, he becomes a rival. Or if the phone is ringing you and you pick up a phone, you become his rival, and so he starts hunting you, or you can start hunting him. I don't really understand why this is a thing in a game that you're supposed to just get loot. Maybe you get more loot if you get him. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't really give you a tracking to him. It just says where the phone got disconnected or where somebody answered the phone or where it rang. It doesn't give you anything. But I think it's just to make player interaction more of a thing, I guess. Now, one of the things that I did like is that sometimes you found these photos, going through drawers and something. There's a photo and there's an X there and there's a mark, and you can come outside and try and search for it, which I did. And I did find one, which I liked. I like the exploration part of games. I always like that, so I was interested on that. Also, during playthroughs, you can find some chests or vaults, and you have to put the combination on. Put the right combination, it could turn green and the vibrator vibrates, which I think is a nice idea. So I did that. And yeah, overall, this is the game. My problem is, why would you play this? I mean, I didn't understand what was at the heart of this. Because you can play for two things. You can either play for the hunt pass, or you can play to build your house. Now, if you're playing to build your house, you can might as well just enter any map, steal any loot that you want, and just get out. That's it. You get XP for that. If you play for the hunt pass, you probably get better if you just go into PvP and shootout or elimination and fight other people, if that's your thing. But I don't even know if the loot that you get from the house can actually help you there. So, you have one thing playing against the other, and I've seen this before. I've seen this with maybe if you get into the loot part of the game, there might be some guy trying to kill other players, just going at it to kill other players, or maybe a group of players, because you can play up to 3 in these maps. So I was like, I saw this before on Space Laws. There's some people trying to complete a mission, which is in this case maybe build a house, and there's probably other people just trying to stop you from doing that. They're not really playing for the house, they're just playing to get you. And I don't like that. But then again, if you're just playing to build your house, it gets boring just entering an exploration scenario, gathering stuff, and getting out, because there's no danger. There's no sense of danger in it. Sure, you might see another player, but then you just have to run away or hide, and that's it. I mean, if you like the aesthetic of Last of Us or Days Gone, maybe this will pull you in. But I don't see how it will sustain you. And I don't think it sustained a lot of people, since only 8% of the people that play this game, at least on PlayStation 4, have actually built the generator. And the generator is at house at level 3. It's just put in your house at level 3. I put my house at level 2. I did a lot, like, I don't know, 10 hours of gameplay or something like that. And I was like, how many hours do I have to put just to get to the 3rd level? Because then you have 2 nodes, but you have to increase those nodes up to, I don't know, 13 times. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, why should I do this? Why should I do this? Why should I play this game? I think one of the things that the game needs, or would work better, is if it had zombies. At least in the open worlds that you grab and loot, it would have zombies. It would give you something to fight, and it would give you something to give loot and fight with. Maybe you can even find other players that were in trouble and you could help them, or they could help you, or you could form, random teams instead of just forming a team and entering the with your friends and entering the set or the scenario, you can actually go in and randomly group up with other players to play the game just for that. Now, this will help you maybe build better gear, better weapons to fight more zombies, or to fight them easily, or maybe even bigger zombies if it was zombies that were harder to beat and you had to avoid them. Because just going to get loot and then waiting for the drop and then going at it, it doesn't really feel like a good game to me. It doesn't feel like a good game design. Sure, I like exploring. I even like the puzzles that I got when I had to open some safes, which I thought it was interesting. But without that sense of danger or urgency, you're just walking around, getting stuff, and avoiding other players and running away. That's it. And all of that just to build a house or a better house. I don't know. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. That's just my opinion of it. I don't see a lot of hype and I don't see a lot of players playing this. I don't know if this game will be around for that long, which is sad because it absolutely looks brilliant. It looks really astonishing. Oh, by the way, one last thing that pulls me off this game is that it has a Rubik's Cube, and I have never, ever in my life ever solved the Rubik's Cube. I've tried multiple times and I can never solve it. So if this game has a Rubik's Cube, it's definitely not for me. But that's just my opinion. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a great game, guys.
Hey!